What's up, everybody? So it is now day 2 of Tower. I did do this video yesterday with Tower Prep, so you guys could have my import squad to do against the first 48 floors. Now, I did hear some people picked up a loss using the Web Warriors against the Taskmaster. I apologize for that. I didn't have previous knowledge of what the teams were actually going to be, but now I've actually mapped out the team against the enemy team because that information is now in game. So that's what we're going to do in this video. I'm going to walk you through my thought process, what I'm going to do. But I want to warn you, this save squads, and I will share this with you guys again, is not for the faint of heart, and it is definitely for a very wide roster. This is to push all the way to floor 84. I'll walk you through my thinking on the teams against the enemy teams, as well as I'll just show yesterday my sim rotation, how that went. I don't want to make a video about that, but then we'll have a full video out tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow morning, showing you the actual matchups live, so you can see how everything went, and maybe you want to take the risk on the team I'm going to show you today, maybe you don't. And then we should also talk about another method to Tower. We still have 6 days left in Tower. If you're already up to the 40s, you can very easily just do a safe climb using your cookie cutter teams all the way to the top. 6 days is a lot. Doing what I'm doing is to get to floor 84 on day 2, which will give me a lot of time to work on stages, 95 plus. You could 100% take your time, use your Eternal team, use your Darkhold team, your Gamma, Tangled Web, Nowhere. We mapped it out. We have like 25 super safe auto win teams that most people have built up either from raids, from the horsemen, from the scourges. You have a lot of options. You don't need to extend yourself the way I'm going to show here by using teams like X Factor, Ravagers, Heroes for Hire, a bunch of these war defense teams. I'm even using like a hodgepodge infestation team. So I just want to put that out there. Don't feel the pressure to climb super fast. Climbing safely is an absolutely good strategy. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the video, and I'll see you guys there. All right, so for day 2, I'm going to show you the teams and the exact matchup. So yesterday, the matchups were not tailor-made for the enemy team. It was just like, here's kind of the ranking that I have on these teams. Go, because a lot of people just use their blitz squad and they auto through it, right? So I did hear some people were losing the Web Warrior matchup into, it was slated against Tangled Web. I didn't know that no, sorry, not against Tangled Web, against Underworld. I didn't know that's what was going to match up, so I apologize if you did get a loss there. I just straight auto through it, and I actually didn't realize that was a tough matchup until later. But I do apologize if you didn't get it done. So if you do have to do that floor 48, this might be a little different for you. But for floor 49, I'm going to start here, and we're going to hit it with our Heroes for Hire. There's just not a crazy amount of damage coming from the floor 49 team. We're going to get defense up quite early from our Luke Cage, and we should be fine there. The next matchup is kind of a sketchy one. I'm only doing it because it's a giant punch down. My concern is that Shatterstar on his special is going to push too many people towards yellow, and then Squirrel Girl is going to lap my Longshot. But if that doesn't happen, Longshot should be able to get in there and get a kill either on Squirrel Girl, Echo, or Kate, and from there we'd be fine. After that, we're going to be using our Ravagers against the Astonishing X-Men members, and we're going to be using Hawkeye with our Ravagers. Hawkeye does a turn meter rewind on the Bishop, so he doesn't get his retaunt back up. And then our Starlet T'Challa is going to be able to go in there and either kill the Beast. If the Beast got a vulnerable target, then I'll probably go for the Beast with my T'Challa. If not, I might go for the Jubilee, as she is a lot squishier. All right, let's move on to the next 3 teams. We'll try and do this in unison. Oh, we failed. We're just going to do it one at a time. So there we go. And there we go. We're going to be doing Uncanny against the Web Warrior team. Not worried too much about that one. There's horrendous RNG that can happen, but it's few and far between. It's like 1 in 1,000 chance is going to happen to you. The odds are not that bad, but it's a rare chance. The next floor after that, I'm going to be throwing my Infestation Hodgepodge team with Doc Ock and Drax. The idea here is that my Drax is big. If your Drax is not big, you might want to sub in Red Guardian, Absorbing Man here instead, because Morbius is going to go. He's not going to push my Drax to 50, and then Lady Deathstrike is going to go. And Lady Deathstrike is going to do a turn meter rewind to Drax and Doc Ock. I'm not too worried about that. After that, Agatha is going to ult, giving offense down, except that's why we bring Doc Ock here, right? And Heartless is going to do a turn meter rewind. We'll see who he hits. And I'm kind of planning that my team is just going to overpower this one. If you do not have a babier team that can handle this, like say your Marauders, your Shadowlands, they're all kind of too small to handle this, you might actually want to throw a real team at this. I feel like this one is going to catch people off guard, just because of the turn meter rewind and those Darkhold stats, right? All right, moving on a little bit. We got the Symbiotes against the Black Order, and we will be doing a 500,000 punch down. And the reason we are okay doing this is because, well, we're okay wasting Symbiotes here because they basically took out all the Summoner teams from ahead. There's like one Fury stage, but that's about it. We don't have Doc Ock here, which sucks. So if you did do a different team, or if you're planning to do a different team for 53, slide Doc Ock in place of Carnage, and you'll have much safer results anyway. All right, let's continue on. And there we go. All right, so we're going to be doing Dark Hunters against Stage 55, the mini boss. The reason for this is that our Dark Hunters are way faster, right? Morbius is faster at 128 speed, plus he does the bleeds. This feeds into the Ghost Rider, who's then going to go. Then it's going to feed into the Voodoo, who goes, and it feeds into the Elsa that goes, which then feeds into the Mordo. So we should get all 5 of our turns first. My thought process here is that those 2 Dad Bros are going to be dead from the Ghost Rider, Voodoo, and Morbius. And then Elsa's going to come in. She'll do damage to whoever she can possibly get damage to. And Mordo will hopefully land a stun, if not some nice blinds. What I would say here is, again, this is a mini boss floor. So this 700 power team is probably more around 900. I'm not too worried about it. The ISOs I have on my team, though, are not correct. I'll be having Raider on Morbius, Striker on Ghost Rider. And yeah, it's probably Striker on Elsa still. After that, I'm doing Shadowlands into the stage 56. The A-Force members are not going to do a terrible amount of damage. Neither is the Dazzler, and neither are those shield securities. I'm probably going to tunnel out the Dazzler as fast as possible, get stuck behind those shield securities, and from there we'll start whittling them away. I have Night Nurse hidden in a corner there. She is going to flip all the debuffs right on the Shadowlands members, so we're going to bide our time, get that done, and away we go. Stage 56, this is a Asgardian stage. We're going to be hitting it with our Asgardians, but I have Val. If you don't have Val, Heimdall will work here. I would not suggest doing a giant punch up into this or punch across into this one, because that Squirrel Girl adds more value than an entire Asgardian team does, oddly enough. All right, let's move on to the next 3. And move on to the next 3 here as well. We're using Astonishing X-Men into the Sinister Six team. Now, the Astonishing X-Men team, this would be a good team to swap down and take out that Morbius, Lady Deathstrike, Agatha team that we saw, right? Because Beast will rebalance everything, cleanse everything, and you should be okay. And if you do that, then maybe you can do Symbiotes against stage 56 instead, and then you can use a much more sure to win team against Black Order, Infinity Watch, something like that. Just trying to spitball some ideas for people who don't have the same width of a roster that I do. We're then going to use our Young Avengers against this Infinity Watch. I think this is an absolute no-brainer. The Infinity Watch team is super tough, and Young Avengers are great at taking them out, just not efficiently, which is why we don't do it in war. They take a lot of turns. We're going to use a Rebirth against the Gamma Doom team. Now, if you've built your Rebirth really big for the raids, this will not be a problem for you because there's no Red Hulk. We're basically going to tunnel out that Hulk ASAP. Do not use US Agent Special. Kill the Hulk, and then we'll target the Doom, hit him with that ability block, and then we'll kill him because there's no one else taunting at that point, right? She-Hulk is going to taunt way after the Doom is dead. Moving on up after that. Yes, we're going to be using A-Force up against this Inhuman Crystal team. We just have a lot of speed on this team. I believe it is Black Bolt that gives them the defense up, so Nico's going to flip that. Spider-Woman is going to absolutely demolish them. All the while, X-23 is getting speed bar popping off, and this should be a very quick win. Then we got the Rhino Web Warrior team throwing it up against this kind of family of Magneto, I guess. I don't know what you want to call that. But Magneto is going to pull everybody in. Then Rhino is going to cleanse it all, and then your Web Warriors are going to pop off. You're going to get a nice early disrupt up on that Juggernaut so he's not taunting, and you're just going to kind of spread the wealth and get them killed. If you did not build up your Web Warriors for this team, you're going to want to use something different. Yeah, this is going to be a real team. I think this team is going to catch people off guard. Again, that Heartless. As soon as you see some Darkhold members, you might want to think twice about trying to cheap out on the floor. First stage, 63, I'm just going to throw my invaders at this, simply because my invaders are big. I don't have use for them super elsewhere. So especially the Fury, I'm kind of always eyeballing the Fury. Can I use him later, as he's really good with that special start But this is going to be just an overpower. So if you build up your invaders for the raids and you have them at, say, 900 or 1,000,000 power, I think you'll be absolutely fine. I know what you're thinking. Fury summons against X23. What are you doing? I wouldn't be too concerned about that, okay? The Fury minions with their stat rework, they're just absolute beasts. All right, after that, we're going to be using Black Order against the Uncanny team. The reason for that is obviously Ebony Maw wrecking controllers after we get rid of the Phoenix. All those ability blocks should not be that big a deal, especially if you built your Black Order up for the current raid system. We're using new warriors against Bionic Avengers. We have so much speed on this team. Gwenpool is going to flip everything right away. Firestar is probably going to kill everybody, and if she doesn't, you're going to have some rewinds from her ultimate, which will rewind them further, letting your cloak go before the Deathlock, probably also letting your dagger go before the Deathlock, let alone your super big your super big Deathpool from having to build her up for Apocalypse. So that's going to be absolutely crushed. Then for floor 66, this is another kind of a hodgepodge team. We're going to take it out with just the Eternals. We throw OG Falcon and Red Skull in here just because if the Eternals can't get it done in just their hits, that's a lot of speed bar for us. You will go first on this team, so you don't have to worry about the Agatha stunning you. And if, for whatever reason, Cloak survives, because say he dodges the Cersei ultimate, and he covers you in debuffs, well, then your Scientist Supreme, lots of S's in this game. The Scientist Supreme is going to go ahead and flip all those debuffs for you and bring you back to stage 0. And we're getting a little bit lower now. So on the next team, we're going to be using our Underworld against the two Cables, the Captain Sam Wilson and Negasonic. The idea here is they just do so little damage, and by them hitting the Kingpin and the Kingpin summon there, it could activate him, and he can get defense up on your team quite early. But even if he doesn't, the damage that you're actually taking from this is going to be very minimal. Floor 68, this was kind of a sketchy stage, but this is one I had to prep so that I could really extend my roster. So we're using the Masters of Evil sisters with Black Bolt, Yo-Yo, and then the Master of Evil himself, Ultron. So Ultron is our big source of damage here. The Yo-Yo putting the offense down will be nice. Just know that Icarus, without Cersei, he's not flipping buffs, so we're not worried about him flipping anything, doing any kind of crazy damage there. We're not worried about him one-shotting anybody, and hopefully Yo-Yo is landing her offense down on him before he takes his turn. So we should be okay there. And then we have War Dogs against the Wakandan team. So you win this mirror matchup, because you have Nakia and they don't, right? Nakia goes first. Do not use Nakia special. Use her basic. Make sure you're targeting the Okoye. That'll take the speed up off Okoye, plus the speed up off a bunch of them, really. And then your Black Panther 1,000,000. Don't use the ultimate. Use the special. Get the spread damage there. And because you use the basic from Nakia on Okoye, peeled off that speed up, what's going to happen is your Okoye will go first. But if you built up your War Dogs to take on the Black Order in War, or for Crucible, or for whatever, for the Death Seed Scourge, then what's going to happen is your Black Panther 1,000,000 is going to annihilate the Wakanda team. It's just going to be gone. You may not even get a turn with your Black Panther when all is said and done. All right, moving on here. We're doing something a little sketchy here, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be fine. We have the Secret Avengers with Kestrel and Emma. So Emma is going to make sure that your Kestrel goes first. She is not going to allow the Kingpin to be summoned. She's going to special down the center of that Taskmaster and probably kill everybody. Like your Captain Sam Wilson is going to go before the Weaver as well. So no one has hit Weaver at this point, right? Captain Sam is going to go. If Kestrel didn't kill everybody, Captain Sam ultimate surely will. And with the speed bar, he's going to give to Sharon. There's a chance Sharon goes before Weaver. But even if she doesn't, I'm not too worried about it. If your Maria goes before your Sharon, make sure you target the Nobu so you don't give the Weaver speed bar. Then we're going to use Bionic Avengers against Shadowlands. Nothing special there. That's kind of what we started defaulting into for War. And so if it's safe for War against Shadowlands, clearly it'll be safe here. We're going to use Weapon X against this Doom team. Not too worried about that one either. Moving on. Now we're starting to push into the real floors, some of the scarier floors. So we're going to be using our Undying, and we're slapping in Loki and Invisible Woman with Namor here. Invisible Woman and Namor, they're not really doing anything. Like the crux of this team is your Hela, your zombie Iron Man. And Loki's going to be nice because he's going to make sure your Hela goes before you're going to kill a bunch of people, and you should be okay. I wouldn't say go in here with a level 1 Invisible Woman or level 1 Namor. You want to bring these people that do a little bit of damage, but I'm pretty sure you're going to be fine doing this matchup. After that, I'm using Infinity Watch into Weapon X. Remember, this isn't War, so the bonuses that Weapon X get inside War kind of nullified there, which is nice. Now we're starting to get into the real rooms. Stage 75 and up starts getting scary. So we have a Heroes for Hire with Gambit and Rogue. We're going to be taking in our Kang, Doom, Star-Lord, and most importantly, Absorbing Man. Yeah, Absorbing Man is going to eat that that special from Rogue, and then we're going to be able to just basically Kang bang them from there, right? So how does this turn out? Well, Kang goes first. You want to put the slow from Kang's special onto Rogue. Make sure you're hitting Rogue with it. That's going to allow your Doom to go before the Rogue, and you may not even see the Rogue special. And if you do manage to do that, when it's Star-Lord's turn, make sure you blind the Shang-Chi, because Shang-Chi, even with Kang's speed bar, goes before Doom, and we just don't want that to happen. We don't want the fight to be extended for no reason, right? As Shang-Chi does do a 10% turn meter rewind. Next, we have Death Seed against the Dark Hunters. That is just a straight auto-win matchup. Not worried about that one, especially since everyone has a giant Death Seed. We're going to use Nowhere against this Dorm Pyro Kestrel team. This one comes from Daedalus, okay? I kind of wanted to use Death Seed on 77 and find something else for the Dark Hunters. I don't think Nowhere would do well into the Dark Hunters. But he did bring up the point that these Pyros are going to do very minimal damage. We should be able to basically kill all of them and just have the Kestrel and Dormammu to worry about before anyone gets a turn, which is an interesting idea. And it's something I'm going to try. But if your Nowhere team is not built up for this, I do suggest using a real team for this, like a Tangled Web type of a real team, because this is a real enemy team, just that Dormammu and Kestrel. It says 880k, but again, and the numbers, they kind of grow exponentially. So I would actually say, imagine this is a 1.2 million powered team. We're using Unlimited into this Hero Asgardian Ultron comp. I'm not worried about that one whatsoever. Obviously, your Unlimited team is just going to be hugely built. We're using Tangled Web into this hodgepodge team that just happens to have a Weaver. Your 2099 is going to get your Weaver to go first. You're going to just beat them up. We're using Darkhold, full Darkhold, against this Eternals Bishop team. Again, not worried about that one whatsoever. And now we're getting into the final 3 stages. And this is where, like, it's really going to determine how far you can push in day 2. The importance of day 2, we'll talk about it in a second. So I'm using 4-piece Gamma with Black Widow. Black Widow is going to give speed up to Hulk. Hulk will go first. Hulk will get a taunt up, and he will eat those stuns from the Abomination and maybe even the She-Hulk. And then you're going to have your Abomination stun, your She-Hulk do her stun, Brawn do his clear so that the Hulk doesn't actually eat the whole stun, even if the Hulk will probably get pushed to 50% heal up anyway. If your entire Gamma team is a healer, this is way better than my current setup, okay? I've been asked that question. Entire healer Hulk setup is way better. After that, this is where I really stretched my roster on these last 2 teams, okay? And this is why I pulled Red Hulk off. So we got Red Hulk, Dorm, Silver Surfer, Cable, and Red Guardian. They're going to take on stage 82. So the Cable lets my Silver Surfer go first. We got to put an ability block up on that Rogue. Sorry, my Red Hulk goes first, which is why I put Red Hulk in here. We had this whole debate. Red Hulk is going to rewind Taskmaster, Omega Red, Silver Samurai. Surfer is going to ability block the Rogue. Dormammu is going to stun Taskmaster. And Omega Red is going to do his special targeting Red Guardian, which we don't mind. And then we get around the block. Dormammu hits his ultimate and everybody goes away. This 1,079,000 power team, I'm looking at it and thinking it's a 1.5 million power team. And last but not least, the final matchup for us in day 2 of Tower is going to be against the double Brawn, that's not Dazzler, Cloak, Dagger, and Yo-Yo. I'm going in here with my Apocalypse. I do have a big boy Apocalypse, which is the only reason why I would do this. Quicksilver, I have a biggest Quicksilver. He's going to help. Minerva, I'm hoping we get a couple kills and she can just do 15% dial damage. And Rocket and Groot, who are clearly just getting hard carried. The one benefit of bringing Rocket and Groot is Rocket, I believe when they're together, goes first before these Brawns, and he's going to go ahead and get a taunt up on Groot, and Groot is going to eat both of the Brawn opening attacks. And that's what's going to happen here. So the importance of day 2, and I think this is an important topic to touch on. Day 2 is going to establish you in climbing further. So if I do make it all the way up to floor 84, I only need to do 16 more matches in order to hit the new floors, right? Floors 100 to 105. Now Tower, how long is Tower lasting? 6 days. I'm gonna make rid of this box too. The tower is lasting 6 days. This will leave me so much time to make mistakes and have to retreat matches between floors 84 and up. But 6 days is a long time. If you don't have the same kind of teams I had at the lower rungs to push, like you don't have Heroes for Hire, you don't have X Factor, you don't trust Z Factor, whatever the case may be, just pick a team that you know will beat it. You can slow climb your way through tower with it being 6 days, get to the end, get a really good score, see the content up there, and have a lot of fun. So you don't need to stress your roster as much as I am, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I am really stretching my roster here. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I love tower. So no matter how you want to play it, you want to slow grind your way up so you can see the top floors safely. Or if you want to really try and bust it and try and get into that top 100, like what I'm trying to do, then this would be for you. Just like in the last video, I will share this save squads for tower. If you do want to attempt this, I would say that this is a very try-hard mentality that I'm taking towards the tower. But as always, I'll be very interested to know your experience yesterday in the comment section below, your expectations for tower. How are you enjoying it? If you're enjoying it, what kind of changes you'd like to see, and I could always forward that off to the devs. But as always, stay happy, healthy, have fun. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
That's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Stay happy, healthy, have fun, and I'll see you in the next one.